What is going on YouTube? My name is Omar and welcome to a brand new Football Manager 2021 Let's Play video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is an introductory episode as we take on our first edition of the Borussia Dortmund save. So what we're looking to do in this series is kind of just be a bit more chilled and laid back. As you can see, you've got my face on the screen. If it's a disappointment to you, I apologise for that. I don't apologise, let's be honest. But yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a little while. Obviously, I've come back in recent weeks, done content around my Millwall save. Obviously, a team I support in real life, team that, obviously I've got a great interest in. And I wanted to do something a little bit different, just to kind of bide a bit of time before I kick on with my main save for Football Manager. So with that, I thought, why not kind of have a chilled environment, something I can get comfortable with on the camera as well. So obviously any feedback, I know I might look a bit pale. I promise I'm not. It's just the lighting I have set up with my green screen. Give me some time, I'll get used to that. None of you really care about that anyway, but I just thought I'd put a disclaimer out there that I don't look ill in person if you met me. At least I don't think I do. But yeah, so with this, what I'm hoping to achieve, I've got a list actually on my left, so this is going to be like a kind of 100% live environment. So you'll get me for 45 minutes on average for a video. Could be a bit more, might be a little bit less, but we'll try and aim for that little benchmark. And we'll cover various topics within the game, stuff that I'm familiar with, stuff that I want to learn. I feel like if I talk for a while and I introduce you to a video, I tend to do well in Football Manager with kind of just talking and obviously covering the game. And for a game that I haven't obviously done videos for a long time, I do feel like I know my way around the game quite well. And hopefully with you watching, you can learn something new as I play it. And obviously I can learn something from you guys. So obviously interaction is key for me. I know we're doing these live and it's not necessarily a live stream, so to speak, but I'll record these the night before they go up. So I want interaction on it. There's not going to be a set schedule, so to speak. I'll try and aim for about 2 videos a week on this series. But just kind of, as we go along, progress, bit of interaction from you guys. I might ask you questions on who I might want to sign or who you think we should sign. I'll kind of spot it now. There's only a 9 million transfer budget, which you can see in the bottom right corner just next to my head. But, what I want to achieve with it is obviously kind of a slow-paced series where we go through a couple seasons, maybe one at most, if I'm honest with you. But a couple seasons with Dortmund, try and tackle the juggernaut that is FC Bayern Munich. Obviously, with it being Borussia Dortmund, there's kits already in the game, face packs, everything's loaded in. I feel that's a good, appropriate league just to kind of, get more familiar with the game, really, because I've only had the one Millwall save. I don't really venture abroad. I never really have done. And with this, it gives me a chance to kind of, experience a life abroad on Football Manager, so to speak, a different sort of layout of the league. There's only 18 teams, 34 games. It's going to give me a kind of a good opportunity just to kind of broaden my horizons and learn more about players in Europe, because I know about Dortmund, but at the same time, I could probably name you maybe 10 players in their side. And it's not because I don't enjoy watching German football, it's just I don't really catch it. I watch Championship football, I watch Premier League football, I watch League 1, League 2 football. So yeah, I think I've rambled on enough. In today's episode, what I want to achieve is just kind of go through pre-season, the opening day or so. Obviously the press conferences, when we're first manager, first couple of days in the job, go through the squads, give you kind of my overview and what I'm looking to improve on, so to speak, and maybe identify a transfer target or two. We'll go through the staff, clear out some deadwood in there and hopefully get some good quality staff in so we can then set up our training. Obviously being pre-season, I'll just kind of go through my pre-season regime and obviously what I do for training. If you guys do something different that you might think better to my game, do let me know, because end of the day we all take on the AI together. We all want to beat the computer. So I feel like that would be a good kind of talking point, something that we can discuss in today's episode. And also we'll look at tutoring groups, friendlies as well. Just kind of set up the squad, get what I think is an ideal scenario. And without further ado, I guess we'll go through our first messages. So I'll go to the inbox. We've literally just come into the job. We've been hired as manager. Hi, Omar Renane, 25 years old. On a 3-year deal, 78 grand a week. I've gone just from full out with our attributes, just so in case anyone wonders. Obviously, I've gone for just kind of international player, continental pro license, just purely because I'm at Borussia Dortmund. I want to kind of, I want to take on Bayern Munich straight away, and I want to have like a clear kind of, I'm the manager sort of mentality. Sometimes I find when I'm like not experienced and I'm in a big job, when it comes to like the likes of obviously level discipline, man management skills, they're important. And obviously I want to win the players over as soon as possible so we can take on Bayern Munich and obviously try and, achieve the impossible in a sense, because it's been a long time. I think we should probably discuss that actually. The last time Dortmund won the league was 2011-2012, and that was under Jurgen Klopp. Obviously a club legend in every word of the manner, to be honest, for Dortmund. Obviously he's kind of the first only the first time I came across Dortmund, really, because, you know, Champions League runs, chances later on in their time to kind of, you know, almost win the Champions League. I think they lost in the final to Bayern Munich. And obviously they won the league twice. I remember Shinji Kagawa, Lewandowski, players that have gone on to play for Bayern Munich, Mario Götze as well. You know, it was a really good side for Dortmund back then. So hopefully we can recapture that. Some players stick around now, the likes of Hummels and Royce, but at the same time, it's an exciting squad. So I think we should just go straight into the squad, to be honest with you, and what I think of it. Obviously, the key players for me, I mean, I've got my little view tab here. So if you're interested in that, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the comment section in the description below, just a link to download my view tab. It's nothing too special. You might find someone's better online on another YouTube video, I can't lie to you. But I just kind of look for the key elements, because what I tend to do is I will gather an understanding of the squad through the team report and obviously learn more about the squad depth here. However, with this, I just want a kind of basic overlay for when I pick my teams on a match day. I want to know what position they play, obviously. I want to know their morale, their sharpness, condition, training. I feel it's important in Football Manager for me anyway. If they're training well, I tend to reward them with a start. Even if they're a youngster sometimes, you know, just if you put them in the matchday squad, bring them in. I can't, you know, obviously youngsters train better anyway because they get a better rating because they develop faster. But I do find it that if I put a youngster in on the bench and they've got a training rate of 9 and above, if I put them on the pitch, they seem to have an impact. And I don't know if that's just me. The rest of it, I just kind of keep an eye on the contracts. I keep an eye on the wages, obviously, the wage bill. Make sure we're not overpaying players, but at the same time, if a player's got a good average rating for us in the season and then maybe below the pecking order, I'll maybe nip him before they ask for a better contract and obviously give him a new deal. Just, you know, stuff that I like to keep an eye on personally. So if I look at obviously the Borussia Dortmund squad, we'll sort it by value. The main man and the key player is Erling Haaland. Obviously signed last season from Salzburg, grabbed the headlines, 14 appearances, 16 goals. I think he scored something ridiculous in the Champions League, like 7 in 4, something silly. And then he went to Dortmund last season. From the January onwards, considering we had COVID and obviously whatever happened with that in the middle, and obviously the stopping of the football until like May onwards, for him to get 13 goals and 15 for Dortmund, you can't fault that. And this season he's continued that, going on leaps and bounds with that. So that's kind of the reason why I feel like it's a good time to be Dortmund. They've got a lot of young players here. Jadon Sancho, obviously another one. We all know him, British football fans. Obviously England international, but not only that, linked with a £100 million move to United that never happened in August and September, should I say. A good player, and obviously a similar age to Haaland. I think he's actually exactly the same age, both 20 years old. You know, I'm quite keen to bring the youngsters in. Thorgan Hazard's another one that sticks in the mind that, you know, he's a good player. He was at Chelsea a few years ago, a lone player, went around a few different clubs, and obviously settled in Germany at the moment. So, you know, there's a strong side here, really. Giovanni Reina is another player to look out for, in Football Manager terms anyway. 17 years old, develops into an absolute outstanding attacking midfielder. And there's another player we can look out for nowadays, Mr. Jude Bellingham. Football Manager 2020 was good for him. And looking at his stats for 2021, another player that will nurture and get better and better as I think the generations of the games go on. He seems to have kind of stabilised, at least been a bit stable since he's gone to Dortmund. He's not grabbed headlines, but you wouldn't expect him to at 17, 18 years of age. But obviously a player that will no doubt in a few years' time become a key player for Dortmund going forward. So maybe not for me in this save. We will give him opportunities to develop and get better, but if it's a couple of years this save, then we probably won't see the best of him. I can't lie to you. But yeah, we'll go through our reports. I mean, when I think of Dortmund, I think of a 4-2-3-1 formation, and I think it's probably fair that it's going to be that formation for us now. I'm immediately thinking if Haaland, God forbid, was to get injured, his natural fitness is normally good. There you go, 15. You know, natural fitness is important, obviously, because it reflects how, if they say, fit when injured or not in training. He's not an injury-prone player. You know, he's obviously consistent as well, and his physical attributes normally lean to the side that I think he won't get injured, but God forbid, if he was to get injured, who would be coming to the side to play up front? Marco Reus is typically an attacking midfielder on the left-hand side. The same with Thorgan Hazard. So that's immediately a cause of concern for me. I'm thinking, do I need to bring another forward in? The problem is it can't be a starting forward. It's going to have to be another player that, you know, is happy to play backup. So we'll have to address that and look into that. Like I said, the three behind the striker, Jadon Sancho is obviously going to be a key player for me as a regular starter. Agreed playing time backs that up. Same with Thorgan Hazard, Julian Brandt and Marco Reus. Now, there's only 3 players that can fit into the 4 positions, so pre-season will kind of shape what I go for the start of the season. I'm immediately thinking Sancho on the right, probably Julian Brandt on the left, a very nippy left winger, likes to cut in on the left-hand side. He can also play on the right, which is important for me because I think I'm going to play Sancho as a wing on the right-hand side with Brandt on the left, but I won't be scared to chop it up between the two of them. I think that's what I'm looking for anyway, as an early idea, because things change when I see it in game quite often. Behind the striker, like I mentioned, probably Marco Reus. I'm thinking a shadow striker. Perfect. His stats back that up. Obviously, lethal finisher. Typically chips in with a fair amount of goals from behind the striker, so to speak. 11 and 19 last season. Marco Reus is clearly a really good player. He's 31 years of age. So, in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking he doesn't have a wanted tag above his name. But if it was a scenario where Man United or a British club, so to speak, a Big Four team, or even the likes of Barcelona or Real Madrid came in for him and they offered 50, 60 million for him, I might cash in. I'm not going to lie, because then I can move the funds around, get more players in that maybe could better the squad going forward. The back four is maybe not the strongest it could be for Dortmund. I think immediately out to the side, I think Hummels is 31 years of age. There you go. A bit on the slower side. He's a star player, important player in his squad role, but another player that, I look at and I think, how long can you do it for at this level? This season definitely be obviously a key player for me, but if I could maybe bring in another centre-half to play next to him, because if you look at the rest of the centre-halves, Akanji is a good player, quick, but his technical attributes, heading, not so great. He's probably more of a right back, if I'm honest with you. But then you look at him and he's like, his crossing's not great, his dribbling's not great. He's obviously a good player, but I look at the kind of drawbacks. Obviously, he's 6'2", which is not the tallest, but it's tall enough, I'd say, for a centre half for me. Anything above 6'1", I tend to find the centre half's quite decent in Football Manager for me. But again, I think in my eyes, and what I'm thinking of, you got Zagadou's another option. Again, not necessarily all their technical ability. He's 21 years of age though. Could be watching out for on that one. But the heart of the central defence is a cause of concern for me, because if Hummels was injured, then you're left with Akanji, Zagadou, and then you're thinking to yourself, who else can step in? So for me, definitely, I think Hummels will be the right centre half. I think he's right-footed. He is indeed. And then I'll be looking for a left-footed central defender. So I'm already thinking mentally in my head the key priorities on the sides. Guerrero as a left-back is great. Good left-back. He's all action, constantly running forward. He's a wing-back by nature. He'll be, overlapping, especially with the left-hand side with Julian Brandt or Sancho playing there, cutting in. I can already envisage him overlapping, which is perfect. The same with right-back. I mean, we've got Murray here, who's a breakthrough prospect. I'm kind of looking at him thinking, could I develop him into be a right back for me going forward already? The same with obviously Felix Pazlak and Piszczek, who is actually retiring, I think at the end of the season, 35 years of age. So we've got Marcel Schmelzer, who's on the transfer list. Nicole Schulz is another left back who, he's kind of played, I think, a couple seasons at Dortmund, but he's not really established himself as a proper left back. I think he was at Hoffenheim before. There we go, Hoffenheim. I remember him playing there before. But yeah, I mean, there's options around the pitch. The heart of the middle for the midfield, I'm quite happy with Witsel and Delaney. Dahoud is another player that is an advanced playmaker, likes to get on the ball. And obviously Emre Can is another addition recent times, signing from, I think Juventus after being at Liverpool. A player that I'm quite familiar with, obviously, know my British footballers. And you look at his statistics, I hate saying statistics in Football Manager. It's got to be attributes. If you're looking at technical attributes, mental attributes, physical attributes, they're not statistics. See? This is what you're going to get with me being a bit 100% live, just talking. I think when I look through his squad, like I said, it's strong enough. I'm happy with it. I didn't mention Thomas Meunier either at right back, who is obviously a Belgian international. So I'm happy with the right side of the pitch. I'm happy with the left side. I'm happy with the centre of the park. I'm happy with our attacking midfielders. I think for me, priority has to be a left centre half and potentially someone to rival Haaland. Worst case scenario, got Hazard, Royce who can fit on the left. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I tend to pick my best 11. So Berkey I've not mentioned in goal. He's a great goalkeeper, and I think he probably will stay my first choice goalkeeper. Not a priority. He's capable of playing with his feet. He's a sweeper keeper, likes to rush out, and I think, he's obviously been holding down position for Dortmund over the last couple of seasons, and I don't really see a fault with keeping him in the side. So he'll go in goal. Right centre half will be Hummels, I'm already thinking, and then probably Meunier at right back. I mean, he's not a wing back where he overlaps the same nature as Guerrero, but he can play full back, And I think with the winger being Jadon Sancho, I'm already thinking we don't need Meunier overlapping constantly. Whereas Guerrero, I'll be looking for bringing the width to the side, and obviously with that, a complete wing back probably is good for us on the left hand side. So I'll play at the moment as my best 11. I'm thinking Meunier right back, and again, left centre half is an area we'll address in the transfer window. Left back will be Guerrero, and then I'm thinking in the middle of the park probably Witsel. And I mean, see with Witsel, he's 31 years of age. Again, another player getting on. So if there was be interest, maybe I'd be looking to move 1 or 2 players on. So that's something to keep an eye on. And Delaney's more of a industrial box-to-box midfielder. He obviously puts himself about. He's a bit of a, he's not necessarily the key creator for the side. So I'm edging towards playing Delaney instead of Emre Can, purely because, like I said, he's more of the industrial player, puts himself about. Witsel is more, he used to be, I think, I remember the Witsel when he was obviously at the likes of Zenit St. Petersburg as a kind of a all-industrial, no-nonsense midfielder. In more recent times, he's become a bit more of a passer of the ball, I feel like. And he might be a player we move on if we get interested in him, but at the moment, if he stays, he'll play, and we will not really address that position at the moment. I will go with Witsel and Delaney for the moment as my midfield pairing, just as like early exciting. It will change, like I said, as the season goes on, or as pre-season even goes on, because my mind will chop and change quite a lot, to be honest, as pre-season goes. I like to have a squad of 22 players, 2 players for every position, and if a player underperforms, I have no qualms, especially if it's a close, tight-knit squad that's competitive. I have no qualms dropping a player and bringing another player in. So, we'll have to see if I'm worth that in merit in goal when it comes to Haaland underperforming. But I do mean that in a sense because it's important. I'm just looking at Rainier, who's a Brazilian from Madrid. He looks a good player. Interesting. We'll go with Sancho on the right, like I mentioned. I'm going to go with Brandt on the left and Marco Reus, shadow striker. And then Haaland obviously leading the line. I think player roles, they tend to keep it default to what formation I pick as my preferred formation as manager. Quite clearly, though, we'll change this to Gegenpress because if I think of Dortmund, I'm thinking of non-stop action pressing. I'm thinking of, obviously, Jurgen Klopp's side. And you've got players in here that will work hard and obviously have the teamwork and vision. I mean, Jadon Sancho is obviously maybe not in that scenario, but I think of Royce, I think of Haaland. I think we will be set up for a press inside and we will try and play on the front foot and obviously force opposition into mistakes. I will change this around, but when I think of Dortmund, I do think of that as the kind of side I want to be. And obviously I enjoy playing on the front foot. I like being, in opposition's faces. So I think positive is a mentality that I like, but if you're Dortmund and you're the second best team in German football, perhaps we want to play an attacking front foot. Play at defence. Slightly more direct. I think I might just tailor that a little bit more shorter. Obviously, with Gegenpress, they get the ball forward and play up front straight away. But I want to try and just change it up a little bit. Overlap on the left hand side with my wing back. I will put overlap right as well, just for the moment, because if we're playing attacking, we'll commit bodies forwards. You won't see the midfielders too much get involved. So Witsel will drop deep, hopefully, and it'll kind of go into back 3. I'm thinking of. Give me 1 second. Sorry, as I clear my throat there. 20 minutes of talking, it has its effects on you, I'll tell you now. I'm thinking, for the most of the other statistics, other stats, I mean, I'm going to leave it quite bare for the moment. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to overload the players too much information. Obviously, I want us to play quite, as it within itself, like use the front 3 or behind the striker, feed Haaland, score loads of goals, and get our fullbacks involved in the attacking play. The rest of it, kind of midfield 2 and obviously the centre half, so they can just tick along really. I'm not too much bothered with what they do. Just want them to get the balls to the creative 3 in behind Haaland, get our fullbacks involved, like I said. So for the moment, I'll just leave it at that. We'll counter when the possession's been lost. We'll counter press, sorry. We'll also look to win the ball back. That's what I mentioned there. I don't know why I'm doing in the other 2 rounds. And obviously we'll look to counter as soon as we win the ball. We'll look to play from the centre half with goal kicks. And obviously, take short kicks. I'm happy with that because obviously, as a sweeper keeper, Berkey is capable of playing with his feet. Let's change that now. And I'll probably have him on support just so that he can be a bit further up in case we play a high line, which is what I'm going on to now. Play a high line, press high. If the ball goes over the top, I need my goalkeeper to come out and be capable of getting onto the end of that. So that's our 11 so far. If I look at just the rest of the squad depth, I'm thinking Bellingham obviously as replacement for him. Go to this field. Like I said, I like preferring looking at it this way. Emre Can as backup in the midfield. The same with Dahoud, who, like I said, I've looked at him already. Good player, decent advanced playmaker. Maybe not a backup for Delaney, so to speak. But when you look at Emre Can, he's capable of playing both positions. And he might be a box-to-box midfielder that can rival Delaney, to be honest, for a position inside. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right back, Fitzpatrick will probably be the backup right back. You've also got Piszczek, obviously, who's a club legend. How long has he been here for now? 2010. Is he eligible for testimonial? We'll have to wait and see if that one. Backup keeper hits a player I've not really heard of from honest view. Swiss international. Played 2 times. I mean, international's a bit generous, I suppose. Is Berkey also Swiss as well? Interesting. Now, I don't know if anyone is familiar with Dortmund, but I wonder if that's a signing that kind of pleases Berkey as his goalkeeper. I don't know if that's just me thinking aloud, but I feel like if I think of AC Milan, for example, Donnarumma has his brother there, I'm pretty sure, or he did for a little while. And that was kind of as a pleasing factor for Donnarumma at the time, I think, to convince him to sign a new deal. Obviously, in the game, he actually ends up leaving after this season, which is what I've seen across a few people's saves in Football Manager. Piszczek will be backup right back. Akanji and Zagadou as our backup centre halves. Zagadou is left-footed. Akanji is both-footed. That's a good perk to have. Obviously, I'm already seeing them two as backup right inside the left side. Left back will be Schmelzer, maybe. I mean, you got Schulz or Schmelzer. Schulz is 27. He's obviously a very rapid left back, 17 pace. And he obviously is more involved going forward. Schmelz is declining, 32 years of age. Yeah, I mean, no interest in him so far, so we'll maybe offer him to clubs as well, just to garner more interest in him. Hopefully someone comes in for him, to be honest. So I've already picked Bellingham as our number 10 backup. We've got Giovanni Reina, who is capable of playing on the left. Again, he's another probably player that will play behind. Interesting, actually. Need to rethink this, I think, because Bellingham can play box-to-box or midfielder role, so to speak. He's not that great at tackling. Maybe I'm seeing Giovanni Reina as the backup to Michael Royce. Now, I know this might be a bit long for you guys to see and watch, but this is the kind of steps I go through. So, am I the only one that does this? Like, as soon as I go in, I look to go through the squad, get 22 players. I try and have a couple players on the fringes behind the 22 players, and I'll just go through the squad, really. I'm not obviously too familiar with the squad, which is why I feel like it's a good video for you guys to see what I get up to. If you think maybe not, or if you think this is not your cup of tea, obviously let me know. But obviously you can give that feedback in the comment section below. It's great to get your feedback. I think, if anything, this could just kind of pick itself here. And you've got these 3 as backup. Wolf is out on loan at Cologne, so I think we'll move him to the 19 squad because I don't really need to see him. And obviously you've got Reina here, who I've mentioned, who is obviously a 18-year-old prospect. So, I mean, okay. When I look at the squad now, so this is why I do this, so I can get more of an idea of the side. So I've picked nearly every player that I want to use this season. Moray is a right back prospect that will be involved in squads, maybe. So that's already I'm thinking on the fringes. I've got Piszczek there. I've got Moray, Schmelzer, who's going to probably move on. But then I've picked positions, and I've only got 2 players left kind of to fill in my eyes. Like I said, that striker position, the sub-11 would be replacement for Haaland. And then obviously got the centre-half position on the left that I need to fill. So immediately there, I think we've ticked 2 boxes of what we need to do for our transfer targets. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to keep going through the inbox, really, see what else we've got. Look at the club vision. Quite a comprehensive list of stuff to go through. Play attacking football, tick, we're playing an attacking. Develop players using the club's youth system, perfect. I mean, probably not too relevant to us if we're here for a season or 2. Sign players under the age of 18 for the future. Now that's an interesting one. Play entertaining football, tick, I feel like. Sign players from domestic rivals, interesting, keep it within Germany. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Do not sign players over the age of 30, something I can agree with anyway. And sign German players, interesting. Work within the wage budget, reach quarter-final of the Champions League. I feel like that's fine with me. And qualify for the European Champions Cup. So for that, I feel like in Bundesliga, you only need to finish top 4. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm immediately looking at it. If we go to the season preview, we should be second favourites, and we are by a clear country mile. Just Bayern Munich are a really difficult side to crack. for obvious reasons. Champions League winners last season. We want to reach the final of the Pokal Cup and Super Cup. Not important. Fine by me. They want us to win this Bundesliga by season 2. So it's quite clear, you know, the philosophy is sign young players, develop the side, give it a good go this year, but next season is to win the league. And I feel like I can get behind that. I want to try and win it this year. Obviously, it won't be necessarily what we do against Bayern Munich so much. It'll be make sure we win the games that we're expected to win. As long as we do well against the other sides, when it comes against Bayern Munich, we have to hope they drop some points. But obviously, we do need to pick up some points against them as well. So I want to accept the vision. I think I'm quite happy with all of that, to be honest with you. Pre-season training, I'm going to pick it myself. It's only 4 weeks duration. Akanji cruciate ligaments is just coming back from injury, which is interesting. It's a recurring injury actually. Torn knee ligaments for Meunier we need to look out for as well. It's the start of the German transfer window. Right. Do I look at transfers straight away? That's the fun part, isn't it? Like going straight into the transfer window, have a look at players we want to sign. I want to look at the staff, if anything, to be honest with you, before we do the training as well. I tend to just kind of focus on my coaching team as the main point of call first, straight off. Then I look at the recruitment team, but it's not too important. And obviously the medical staff, I get some physios in. Looks like we're missing one physio, a head of sports science, and a couple of sports scientists to make up the sports science department. We're a couple of coaches short. I tend to go through them and see what they offer, obviously, before I decide whether to keep them on or not. Our assistant manager is Edin Terzic, who was actually at West Ham before. I think he's Croatian, yeah. So under Slaven Bilic, I would imagine. Pezic as well, that backs that up. Lars Bricken is our head of youth development. Again, ticks loads of boxes there. I mean, I'm quite basic at this, to be honest with you. They highlight them for a reason, I feel like. And obviously they offer a highlighted guide because, you know, you're looking for what they do and they're the roles that are important. And they do have an effect. So, you know, if they tick all the boxes, why not just keep them there? Goalkeeping coach is top notch. Happy with that. Fitness coaches, we've got 4 of them. Do we need 4? I don't know. I'm just thinking already because we've only got one general coach who is Stefes here, who isn't terrible, but I feel like we can get better potentially. But I'm already thinking if I move one of these fitness coaches on, maybe 2 of them. He's a bit of a weak link there at the bottom. Same with him, he's not that great. Now he's probably the best one I've seen so far, and Dennis Marshall, he's terrible actually. I think I'm going to get rid of 2 of these fitness coaches, you know. Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm going to reinvest in other areas of the coaching team. Mutually terminate this guy and also this one. Yeah, they're both gone. So general coach, I'm happy to keep him, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to then move in to get another goalkeeping coach so he can help share the workload on that, and then it leaves us with 3 more coaches to pick from. So you can see the rest of these. Head of performance analysis looks great. Yeah, happy days. And the other 2, yeah, they both look fine. Okay, so with 3 coaching slots available and also a goalkeeping coach, I'm just going to go straight into the staff search actually. Pick a new goalkeeping coach. Obviously, we want to have all these 3. And I tend to look for determination and motivating. Just what I look for myself. Level discipline is obviously quite important as well, but they're just kind of the 5 stats that I tend to look for myself. Let's have a look. If anything, we can filter this a bit more. We've got Des. I say Des is in like a proper British name, right? Des, but that's not how you say his name there, I don't think. Massimo Nenci, he looks quite good, doesn't he? Alright, let's bring Massimo in as our goalkeeping coach. Let's haggle him down just a little bit. I don't think wages matter too much, but you know, if we can save a little bit of money for the club, might as well do it. I don't go through every single one like this, by the way. Just new people we're bringing in. I think it's quite important to do that. Alright, so now we've got a goalkeeping coach. I'm going to then try to bring in... I tried to cater it, so I've got 3 slots. So I'm going to do attacking, defending, and just like a technical/tactical training coach. So defending... technique for defending, man management, motivating, and also level discipline. They're the kind of key areas I look for straight away. I tend to maybe put the determination in as well, but for now we'll just filter to these ones and see what they flag up. Head of youth developments, interesting. I want to see if I can get a coach, please. Got a fitness coach here, Ivan Carmanti. as a coach, he's very, very good, you know. Fitness coach is obviously top draw, but general coaching as well, he's all-rounded, very nice stats there. See what else we can find. This charisma looks very good. If he comes in as a normal coach for me, that'd be a good signing. I don't know what's going on with that. I can't offer him a deal to 2025. But it's expensive for a coach, you know, to be fair. Okay, we'll walk away from that one. I'll tell you what, we'll lower the restrictions just a little bit more. If you're like really experienced football manager and you watch me do this and you get frustrated, just, you know, reach out to me in the comments below and go, "Hi Homer, you're a..." No, don't call me that. But, you know, just reach out to me and tell me what you do differently, because, you know, we all learn from each other as we play the game, really. And this is like stuff that I enjoy going through, really, like as I go along. I'm gonna lower him down to 4.5k a week. 4.8. 5. Okay. So that's our defending coach. We'll take away defending and we'll go to attacking, as I mentioned. Got Raul Jose here. I recognise that name. I think I've had him as a coach before. As a coaching for attacking, I think he's perfect. If I highlight he's attacking tactical coaching, no, technical, sorry. Perfect. So if I bring him in as a coach, that'd be great. Come on, you know you want to come as a coach. 7k a week, be a coach for 5 years, perfect. Thank you, welcome aboard. And then the final one I want to go through is just more on a general coaching level. Mental attributes, tactical, technical. Thank you. We'll lower these down just a tad. And we've got Lewis Benny here, or Lewis Bioni. He looks a very nifty coach. So perfect, happy with that. So that's my 3 coaches picked up there. Goalkeeping coach as well. I'm not gonna strengthen in front of you guys anyway the rest of these, because I just think it will get a bit tedious, but you can see the kind of steps I go through. And we'll do the physios actually whilst I'm here, just so that I can go through them. Physiotherapy, perfect. We need one more physio, and then we need some sports scientists in. So, in fact, what I'll do for this one, I'm just going to advertise these on the job market and see who we attract. Not quite essential, I don't think, at the moment to get these in the door straight away. We can just kind of leave it up to the fate of Football Manager gods to decide who applies for the job. I think that'll work out quite nicely. So yeah, so we've gone through our objectives for the season, what we're planning to do. We've identified a couple of areas we need to strengthen, and what I want to do now is just go through our pre-season training and friendlies. I think first we'll go through the friendlies and see what we've got. So it's a short pre-season, as it was mentioned. We've got a few games already squeezed in by the looks of it. We're playing the 11s tomorrow, which I might leave for the next episodes, just because why not? In fact, I'll play it today. Why not? We'll get that out of the way straight away. We've got a few games here that look against sides that are based in Germany, so it's all local games by the looks of it. I suppose sticking with COVID, we can't really travel too far. And then we've got our first round of the Cup a week before the first game of the season. I think that's quite a fair pre-season schedule, to be honest. I was thinking what games should I look to add in or delete, really, but we've got 5 pre-season games. I look to kind of play... I'll do the second 11 game, and if anything, it gives me a chance to play first 11, get second 11, and they all get 90 minutes straight away. Quite a risky policy that I've tried to do this season. Normally, I build players up and do 45 minutes each half, then 60 minutes, and 90 minutes. But I think I want him to get all fit sharp straight away, so I might look to do that and just have a few fringe players on the bench from his backup. They've agreed their contract termination, perfect. We'll go through training just very quickly. I'm not too anal with training. Some people like to go through every single stat and change them around, but I kind of like the defaults that they give you. I just tend to top up the sessions. I think in pre-season the player should work hard. So in that sense, I do kind of up the session details. So we're working a normal pre-season start by the looks of it here. I might just change it. I'm happy with most of that, to be honest with you. What we'll do is, though, we'll add a couple of sessions, maybe just work on the match tactics, to be honest, I'm thinking, but we'll just do an tackle. I think I like to chuck in endurance, but I think because we're going straight into games, I feel a bit different about it. I think we'll play the 90 minutes here. Both will get 90 minutes, like the rest of the whole squad, and it'll be a good opportunity for them to kind of stretch their legs, so to speak. So with that in mind, I think I might just focus on chance conversion here. And then straight into another game by the looks of it after that. So maybe that'll be a chance to, you know, change two sides. Paderborn, then you've got Frankfurt. So, I mean, the schedule is quite hectic, it's got to be said. I don't know when we're playing these games, to be fair. I'm probably screwing and making a weird face, but got Paderborn and then... Okay, no, we have got a quick succession of games there, to be fair. Maybe there's a bit of a gap between the lot and... Maybe we could do with a game here instead on the 8th. No, the 5th, sorry. I wonder if I can get... I don't know if he's already had it. His testimonial. Is it Paslak, was it? Sorry. Okay, so we can't really get... I don't think I've ever actually had a testimonial in the game since it's come in, so I'm not actually going to be able to tell you if I can get it in there or not. But we'll go for an away game on 5th September. Away at United, how about that? Fuck it, why not? Perfect. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to look at the transfer market. Something we haven't done yet. I'm telling you what I'm looking for already, a centre half. Oh, I'll tell you what. Upamecano is a good player. Similar problem though, I feel like we're going to have with him that we have with the likes of Kanji, in the sense that good kind of, you know, mental attributes are decent and like the physical attributes are good, but it's just the heading and like defending, natural defending is just not, you know, something that's like top of the list. He's 21 though, so he ticks boxes there in the sense that he'll help, and he's also a player that's domestically based in the country. So, I'm thinking about this one. Might make a move for Upamecano. We'll add him to shortlist. I'll tell you what we'll do. Shortlist. Acknowledge. I'm not too bothered about these reports, to be honest with you. I want to look for players myself. So one thing I've done for this save in particular is I've actually just filtered, I've took off attribute cache in. So if I go onto a player, I can see their full stats in front of me. I just prefer that personally, but I understand it for a lower league save when you're scouting players or when you're looking for players. But for this save in particular, I just think we should have a good knowledge of all the players anyway, because we're Borussia Dortmund. I should be able to just pluck players out of thin air and just choose who I want to sign. So I'm going for the centre half position first to look into. And I want to highlight attributes for a ball playing defender. I'm going to lower these down to about 12. See who they flag up for me. If anything, actually, we'll higher it a little bit because I've been a bit generous and it looks like we've got a couple of targets in our eyes already. They've all disappeared. Right, so we'll do it to 13 and we will match 14 out of 17. Who we got? Joe Gomez, probably command a big fee. Very good player though. Not left-footed though, but he can play on that left side. I think for Liverpool he does sometimes. John Stones. Now that's an interesting one, isn't it? Player that's not really come on for City as much as they would have hoped for when they signed him for £50 million, I think 5-6 years ago now. Davinson Sanchez, who's a good player, I think. Again, similar to Upamecano a little bit. I think I'm just going to go for Upamecano, you know. Depends what way we would look at this, because we could sign the likes of Romanoli, for example, who unfortunately is injured at the start of the save. Left-footed, tick. 25 years of age. Not a big tick, but a tick enough to develop as we go along. You know what? Sod it. Upamecano, we're going to get him. Now, the problem is our wage budget is only 9 million. But if you know what I know in Football Manager, there's ways around it. I'm going to go for him. I think he ticks boxes for us. If we look at his scout report, you know, can play in a couple of positions, is handy obviously, but not important. He's a centre half, and he's a no-nonsense centre half, but also he's capable of playing with his feet. And he's 21, and he can develop. I think it's just a no-brainer. My personal thing is I love watching him play in real life. I think that's why in my head I'm thinking I'm going to get him. You're probably watching this thinking, he's no better than what you've already got, but he's 21. He'll develop with me, right? Come on. A bit of logic here. Let's step in anyway, see what we can do. They're not interested straight away from the get-go. Interesting. It's got a 41 million release clause, I think he's got on his contract. Okay, we're going to have to negotiate here, I think. With in mind that we can only offer X amount of money, I'm going to go with a £9 million upfront transfer over instalments. We're not here for a long time, guys, alright? I know you're thinking, sitting there, what's he doing? We'll just go 30 million. We'll leave it at that for now. See what they say to that. We'll step forward a couple of days anyway. Do our press conference as well, as I get a bit more comfortable in my seat. You know, I've sat here for a little while now, guys. We've actually had a bid for Schmelzer. He's on 70 grand a week. How much more interest have we got in him? Only Hanover are interested. I might just stall for a little bit, but I think that'd be good because it'll free up 60 grand of wages for us as well. You know what, actually, I'm going to accept it. That's one player out the door. Code of conduct. Now, I tend to be a bit strict with this one, but I think it's reasonable in a sense. 1 week if you miss a first time, if you miss training. 2 weeks if you miss it again, and then that's it. Sense. I don't demote players or anything like that. Gone AWOL. Now, this is a big offence for me, so I'm going to just set it to 2 weeks straight away. Bookings, I'm not too bothered. So that's fine. And sent off, you know, it happens. Sometimes players get sent off. You can't really help that, I don't think. I'm going to confirm that. Continue. Team report, we've gone through that already ourselves, really, and we've got an offer in for an under-19 player. I'll probably come back to that in a bit. I'm just going to reject it for now because I've not really looked at under-19s just yet. Actually, just give a good question there because they want us to play young players and we've not really checked our youth just yet. So if I go to development centre, no players worth considering them apparently. Look at our Dortmund 2 sides. I filter it by my general tab and just filter by value. It's an easy way to kind of gauge players. Yeah, there's not much in the Dortmund second side either. And the same with the 19s, I don't think. Marius Wolf's out on loan, 25 years of age. That was playing the first team squad already. I looked through it. There's not much there to really shout about, if anything. Which is unfortunate, but you can't make your own players magically appear in this game. Anyway, I think we're going to go into this. I think we're going to have a pre-season press conference. We're going to have an introductory press conference first, and then we'll go into the game against Dortmund's second 11. I feel like we've covered everything I wanted to achieve today. I've explained to you what we're doing. I've given you an overview of objectives this season. I will probably identify that just before we close the video out. Actually, we'll go in a bit more detail about that. Checked out pre-season friendlies. We've done changes for the week. I'll change that more as we go along. I'm going to introduce myself to the squads. So, I don't really want to make too many promises to the squad, really, because I want to improve the defence, but I don't want to dishearten a lot of players that are already here. I'll say it so that no one's really bothered by it anyway, but at least I made some promises there, I suppose. And then that's enough of promises. I'm very positive about our chance this season. I think we can go and win the title. I think that's fair, you know. We'll say we'll challenge for the title. Everyone's happy about that. Everyone's pleased. Good. And also, I want us to reach the latter stages of the Champions League. Marco Bros agrees. So we're going to pump fists and say, that's exactly the reaction I was after. And also, win the DFL Pokal. Solid. What's too ambitious? Come on, we want to win the cup. We're not going to let Dortmund win everything. Anyway, I think in general it's gone alright. Still think that it's too ambitious for us. Come on. Everyone be happy. Just flew for that anyway. On the whole, I believe the players were happy that you made the offer of some promises, even though they didn't take up you up on the offer. The players seem to be happy with the code of conduct, and I think in general, it looks like the meeting went up. Dressing room atmosphere went up a bit more as well, which is great. I think we're going to have our presser in a minute. If we don't have it before this game, superb. And skip that for another video. Here it is. Jinx myself. 10 press conference. What's your initial thoughts? Privileged to be here. What attracts you to Dortmund? It's a massive club. Does anyone just do this in this game? Just go next. It was a perfect job. Expectations of Dortmund's statue are enormous. Sesson's blood is in the blood and set up. Taking the step. I don't think age is important. The best way to earn respect is by winning games. Done this about 9 times before in Football Manager. I believe it will help me with playing career because obviously international player. That you favour 4-2-3-1 formation. Does the fact that Dortmund have historically played that way help you set in? Great to introduce myself to the fans. We're led to believe that you're quite heavily focused on integrating young talent. Obviously, much talk about subjects, but if they're good enough, they'll play. Does Dortmund's squad have enough quality in your opinion? One of the reasons I came here is because of the quality of the squads. Have you introduced yourself to the squad? The club is, yep, I have. How important are the Borussia Dortmund fans? The fans will play a massive part. Can you talk about the club's potential, where you'd like to see that take them to? We aim high, probably higher than we realistically can achieve, but that's how we will start. That's true. I want us to aim big because, if we can win the league, it's not really that far to go, let's be honest, when you look at Dortmund. I think for training, I'm always cautious what to say here, but we need to become prepared to work. No, coming to success, and that's basic level commitment. We're a very talented squad. I don't want to really talk about anyone so far. Will Marcus Rashford remain your captain? Absolutely, he's captain for a reason. That's not going to change. If it was someone else, maybe a fringe player, I might change my mind. I'm not going to talk about any transfers today. Sorry, everyone's getting a bit upset with me, but I can't. You're taking the charge when it's widely expected Guerrero will leave. I want to keep Raphael here, and we'll be doing everything in my power to do so. I'm not going to talk about transfers. While some managers are famous for their hands-on approach, others maintain a more reserved manner with their players. What a place that they can come with anything. End of press conference. See, presser didn't go well, but the reason it didn't go well is because I didn't give them what they wanted to hear. So, I want to do a first, second 11. I think it should work in a sense that, there you go. Got my first 11, got my bench. Piszczek comes in for the centre half. I think I'm going to play a Kanji. Piszczek can play for them. We've got a strong enough bench options there. Yes, we do. Haaland, deep line forwards. It'll be interesting to watch this game. I just want to manage the first 11, and then they can play themselves second 11. Anyone else I just want to bring in case we get injuries? Nah. Do you know what? I'm just going to stick to what I said. 90 minutes, both sides. If anything, I don't manage the reserves, so they could technically have the assistant manager make changes for them. But it's good because you don't need to do team talks or anything. It's just straight into the game list, and obviously it's a good chance to see what the players got to give. I actually do the team talks. When I'd done it in the beta, I didn't have to do a team talk. Maybe that was a glitch then in that sense. Pre-season, we've got to win matches like this. I need to change my view. I want to do, I think it's sideline, no, TV. I want to reverse it because I like being behind the dugout. Sense of realism. Load the camera. Zoom it. Nah, I like the zoom. And then about there, I think, for the highlights. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting too much from this game. I just don't want any injuries, obviously. That's important in pre-season, especially the first day of pre-season, first game. I'm interested to see what my green screen looks like as we're in the game, as Hazard runs forward there. But like I said, to back up that point, it's a competitive squad. So like, if the squad's competing against each other, and you've got players in there that if I drop one player, another player comes in. Technically, this should be a close game. As Sancho raced away there, here's Brandt. One thing I hadn't done is rolls in the middle, and I've done that kind of deliberately. So I just want to see how the centre midfielders fare early doors. As Sancho nips in at the back post to make it 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. Grow over the ball into the middle. Sancho making a run into the box. I think it's a poor clearance there from Paslak. And Guerrero, like I said, overlapping on the left-hand side. Sancho's there to tuck it in. Yeah, I don't really do player roles too much. I think, if you look at the fullbacks as well, I've not touched them. It's more so as the games play on, because I like to play all the pre-season games just to see how the squad fares. And if I want a wing back to commit more, then I might change him to a wing back. But I just want to early doors just see how the team lines up, so to speak. Here's Jude Bellingham anyway. I think probably whilst I'm in this game, actually, we'll discuss aspirations and what we want to achieve this season. I mean, we've kind of covered most of it at the start of the video, but I think it's important to kind of, we want to achieve this year. We want to be a decent side. I'm, doing my hair in my OBS screen, which I shouldn't be doing. But yeah, I want us to, compete this year on all fronts. I don't think we'll win the Champions League. I'll put that one out there. But I want us to be competitive and obviously win the league. That's the main aspiration for me coming to Dortmund. I want to win the league and I want to try and do it this season. That's the key for us. I think if we get that centre half, Upamecano is in my mind, obviously, but we can look around. There's other centre halves. If you've watched the Millwall save, I think Jake Cooper will be a great signing for us. He's definitely a defender's defender, if that makes sense. Where he's no nonsense, but I'm not going for Jake Cooper for Dortmund. Don't worry. Millwall fans, he's safe. I wouldn't do that to Millwall. But yeah, no, I think if we get Upamecano, we're gonna have to give him a nickname. But if we get him in, I think he'll be a good player for me on the centre half. Obviously fits the bill, player wise, and obviously what the club looks for in vision. So far, this game's actually just interested to see how it's going. As Sancho picks out Haaland here, races his way through on goal. Erling Haaland is off and running. It's also good for pre-season to, even games like this, just to get players scoring goals. I feel like it's important, just to see him get off and running. Obviously, Haaland is going to be a key player for me this season. So for that, it's important to see him score a goal. So I'm talking for the sake of talking because I've got to the point where I can't really talk about anything but the game. But it's a first 11, second 11 game. I don't know if you really want me to commentate over it the way I do normally, but you got Witsel here to Meunier. It's just not dramatic in pre-season, really. I'm intrigued to see how this team lines up. Delaney's committed forward. Here's Brandt. Haaland races away to make it 3-0. Second 11's getting absolutely smashed to pieces here. It's good though. Maybe we should pay more attention to what the team's actually doing instead of talking about absolute shit. So 3 goals, actually of 1.19. Can't complain about that. Obviously we pressed them quite high. Piszczek's forced into a long clearance there. Akanji picks up the loose ball. I'm just looking to see what we're doing here. Meunier's not committing forward, but Brandt's on the left-hand side. Did I even set him to an inverted winger? I'm sure I did. Yeah, he's inverted winger on support at the moment. Obviously, Jadon Sancho, winger on attack, getting into the box there for that goal. First goal. Obviously, you'll know worthy that. Here's Brandt drifting in anyway. Here's Jadon Sancho on the right. It's 4-0. A little bit sorry for our second 11 now at this point. Hope it doesn't damage their morale if they lose this game. It's another highlight straight from kickoff anyway. Here's Paslat to Emre Can. Here's Jude Bellingham. Goes to Hazard, but it's cleared away. Erling Haaland picks up the loose ball, skips past Paslat, he's not there. Haaland's running away with this. It's a good block. I'm looking forward to seeing what Haaland does. I'm not really used him in Football Manager, including last season. So, in that sense, I'm looking forward to see what he can offer me. Because obviously, you see his statistics and you see what he's done in the game. And obviously, you look at his attributes additionally, then you're thinking, what can we make him do this season? 40 goals in the league, maybe? Better than Lewandowski? That'll be an individual battle we've got to look out for. If we get him to score goals, then we'll be on a shoe-in to something good this season. Without the ball, we seem to retaliate, getting back in shape fine. We're not committing fullbacks forwards, like I mentioned. I might look to maybe push Guerrero forward as Bellingham's there, gone for a goal. I'm just going to see if I change Guerrero to a complete wing-back on attack. Just to see what his involvement in the game goes as. And whether it leaves us short, because obviously Bellingham's raced away a couple of times there. I just wonder if that will have any impact. Kanji clears the ball. I think one thing will happen is complacency here. Long ball forward to Berkey. Easy pick up for the goalkeeper. Go long again. Poor click, to be honest with you. Here's Reina to Emre Can. It's 4-1. And I'm happy they got that goal, to be honest. I don't want to see the first 11 concede, but makes a game of it, to be honest. We're pressing high. 3 forwards. I think Royce is dropping in a bit deeper here. Not disappointed about that, to be honest. As long as we just watch out for these two creating. We're going to cancel each other out because we're playing the same formation, but Bellingham managed to skip past here. Good block by Hummels. And Bellingham runs out for a goal kick. Even better. So from the goal kick, we're going to go short. No, Berkey goes longer towards Haaland there, which is not something I asked him to do. Here's Reina. It goes inwards, but it's cleared away. Wonder why Berkey's kicking it long there. And he's going through his individual instructions to make him pass short, maybe. Witsel clears away the corner. I'm just more interested to see what the shape of the team is. And I think without the ball, we look alright. I'm happy with that. Back four is quite solid. Hummels comes up there. Bellingham goes through on goal, and Berkey commits the save. Good save, to be fair. We're leaving Haaland forward, are we? That's something I'll change. I think I'll get Haaland back to defend from corners and leave the likes of Sancho forwards. But again, first game pre-season, not even a proper game, to be honest with you. I don't really change too much around with this. Second level, definitely knocking on the door towards the end of the first half here, though. Royce with a free kick. And it's 5-1. Set piece specialist, perhaps. Good finish. Keeper with no chance there. I'm kind of getting a bit bored of these highlights at this point, to be honest with you. I've recorded for 55 minutes straight, and you're going to get all 55 minutes, and it's pure joy. So, I mean, we'll hit an hour. I mentioned 45 minutes at the start of the video, but you're going to get an hour-long video here today. We've not even touched tutoring groups, so I think that'll be something left for the next video. Anyway, Hazard to Pijek here. Emre Can goes out wide towards Reina. Meunier gets there. We get one on the counter-attack. Hummels. So now at this point, I want to see what the left wing back does if he commits forward here on the counter attack. We're not even going to see that because Haaland's picked up the ball here, races away, and it's 6-1. I think that's a hat trick. Yeah. I mean, he's terrorised the back four for them today. We've got another highlight before half time. Football Manager, what are you trying to do to us? I'm sure we're on extended highlights. We are. Haaland to Royce, Sancho. Schulz goes back to Hiltz in goal. Bellingham. Delaney's going to tackle him. He doesn't quite get a tackle in. Chan to Reina, and it's 6-2. Topsy-turvy first half or what? I'll tell you that much. Attacking football is definitely something you're going to see from this Dortmund side this season. And I, for one, can't wait to actually commentate these games. Just a different pace for me. Haaland again, great block. Jadon Sancho is involved a lot so far, I've noticed, on the right-hand side. Obviously, he's a winger by nature, but he seems to have the knack of just cutting in a little bit more, even though he likes to hold the line at the same time. So, 6-2. We've got a minute still to play in the first half. Long ball, aimlessly forward. I'll check the pass completion after this as well because I don't want us to give the ball away too much. And I'll just kind of go scrutinise different players. As Hazard went for a chip there, Berkey, thankfully, is behind it. 6-2 half time. Not bad. I'll take it. I'm delighted with the performance so far. Keep it up. I suppose whilst we've got the second half running, if you've enjoyed this video, I'll do this kind of obligatory stuff now before I actually end the video. I just want to know what you guys think of this content, if it's something you're into. If you've listened to this point, 58th minute, put in the comments below. Let's put something random. Let's put a comment. I want you to just put number 9. Obviously, Haaland scored 3, playing number 9 for me in this position. Just in the comments below, type 9. And if you've watched this far, I know you've listened and tuned in, and I know you're engaged. You know, you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't, equally so, let me know in the comments below. I enjoy doing this sort of content. I mean, live streaming is something I'm definitely going to look to do in the new year. I mean, for the moment, I just enjoy doing the videos, getting the buzz back for the game, and obviously getting the buzz back myself for playing Football Manager, and obviously making content. So I enjoy this sort of long form content. As Erling Haaland has actually scored again. So like I said, get that 9 in the comment section below. Just 9. You can write it or you can type it, and obviously it'll give me kind of a sense of like at least people are tuning in to watch it. I'll do this content regardless because I love doing it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think we might just give a little shout command. What should we do? Should we praise them? Look at that, all green faces all around. I hate to think what the opposition looks like. In fact, the opposition being your own players as well. So the Hood goes for goal. Berkey's behind it. I'm thinking whilst we do 100% live, I might just play forward a few days. Or, I don't know. If anything, I'm not going to touch the save until this video goes out anyway. So in the comments below also, let me know if you want me to continue playing 100% live throughout this, or whether or not you want me to fast forward things and go 100 live as the season starts, because in that way we can kind of do more in the game. Obviously, I want to try and get the transfers done, so maybe next episode will be trying to focus on getting a centre half in. So we'll have to wait and see. 8-2, by the way. 60 minutes played, 8-2. I am actually really pleased about this though, because like at the same time it's demoralising for the second 11. It's good to see like we're going forward. We're actually like a proper handful. We've not even fine-tuned all our player roles just yet. Which kind of goes to show that, especially on this game, Football Manager, like you get so much information and so many different choices to choose from. Sometimes you kind of feel like you're forced to choose like 9,000 roles. And even with my Millwall save, albeit with, I don't know, what average of 100 people watching the episodes, I get people asking me for the tactics I do and stuff like that, which I don't mind sharing. But a lot of it on the game is, you know, you just keep it fine-tuned, straight and narrow, simple, and you just watch the game unfold and what you look for. Like, I know I'm looking for the team to play 4-2-3-1. I'm looking for the 3 attacking players to get involved. I've looked at Brandt today on the left-hand side here, look, picking the ball up in the narrow position. I might ask him to sit a bit narrower to get more involved, and then it allows Guerrero to go forward. But I'm just thinking aloud of what I will look to do and what I'm hoping to achieve. Obviously, what we need to watch out for is, in games like this, when you're playing your second 11, of course you want players to attack. But the real test is in the Champions League. What we do is change the team around a little bit just to fit more to what we're doing. Are we going to sit more deep? Are we going to change player roles? But we don't really get a test of that until we play Bayern Munich or Hoffenheim or Leverkusen or Leipzig. But when you're Dortmund, are we going to go gun-ho every game? This is stuff I just need to think about, really. And obviously, it's the thought process I go through. Maybe I think too much into this game, let's be honest. And even I'm getting tired of my voice now, so I want this game to finish now so we can finish this video. Anyway, let's give a little commentary here. Here's Emre Can goes out wide to Bayern Gittens. Must be a youngster. Nice little neat interchange. Rainer's through on goal. It's 8-4. Defence has got a bit peaked on second half. I'm not going to read too much into it. I think it's purely because of the nature of the game. Thomas Delaney looks like he's ran his course. Do the sub, do it. I don't know if we want to make changes, but it's pre-season and we don't want any injuries, so anything pops up, you do it, assistant manager. Here's Bino Gittens on the left-hand side, skips past the tackle, and he's almost scored to make it 8-5. I've not done any tactical instructions or anything in this game, which might have explained why second 11's come back into this game. Royce intercepts the ball, goes back to Berkey, goes long towards Haaland, who flicks it onto Sancho. Here's Meunier overlapping on the right hand side. Nice forward run. Picks out Sancho. Again, like I mentioned, involved a lot. He seems to sit a bit narrow in attacking three, but he's obviously offering the width because he's a winger. But I like that because then you've got Meunier overlapping, but I need to be careful that in a game like this, then it's fine with both our fullbacks bombing on, like I mentioned, but it's something I need to look into. Anyway, 93rd minute of 3 added on, and it's all over. 8-4. What a game. I'm going to just put my point finger and say, good performance pre-season, we're getting close to where we need to be for our first competitive match. Morale's high. People are happy. Nicole Schulz picks up a tight fight. That's not the end of the world. To be honest with you, I'm quite actually chuffed that we've come through that without any injuries. I want to clear the squad anyway. We know what we're looking for. I made it quite clear in this video. Central defender to play on the left-hand side. Perfect. Tick a box. And also potentially a striker, but I think we might make do if we don't get one in. Anyway, guys. 24 all-man squads. 23 soon with Schmelzer leaving. I've ran my course for this video. I'm going to save the game so I don't lose any progress. That's an hour of pure commentary. So if you've enjoyed, and I've enjoyed making this, please leave a comment below, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell if you want to get notifications. That's what you went to say around Football Manager on YouTube these days. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.